Greetings from Grayson Highlands State Park, and it's a beautiful 70 degrees and sunny, partly sunny anyway. It's a bit cloudy behind me, but there are blue skies over here in this direction. And it's been a while. It's the first time we've actually been out on trail since we got back from Pennsylvania and Maryland. So that's exciting. And we really need it. I'll be honest with you, I've been burning the candle at both ends since we've been off trail, and working 10-hour days at the outfitter and doing carpentry at night, and also on my days off. So haven't had much time to do anything. It's been too humid to go up to my stealth site just outside of town. Pretty much anything below 4,000 feet is just way too humid for me and Garvey to deal with. So it's much nicer in the air conditioner. So as a result, we just haven't been out camping at all. But we're here now, and I tell you, as soon as I put my feet on the trail, the anxiety of town just seems to melt away. So in case I didn't mention it before, we are going ultra heavy on this trip. This is low miles, big smiles. And we're also going to be picking blueberries. I saw some ripe blueberries and blackberries on the spur trail, which means they're going to be ripe in other places as well. And we have pancake mix, frying pan, all the accoutrements, and we are gonna have us a nice blueberry pancake breakfast in the morning. It's gonna be great. In the meantime, we are just about to Wise Shelter. Beautiful spot. The bear box is new in the last couple of years, and there's no camping allowed here. No backcountry camping allowed around the shelter in Grayson Highlands State Park. Once we cross the bridge, we'll no longer be in the state park, and we can camp anywhere we like. It's break time. Garvey's found them a nice patch to roll around in. And there's a little beach area, and the creek is right there. Nice little campsite here. I guess you could probably put one tent, maybe a hammock or two. But yeah, we're just on the other side of the creek from the shelter. Yeah, we're gonna take a little break right here. Maybe get something to eat. Just rest for a little while. That's what we're out here to do. So we're on the Scales Trail, and we could have gone down the Wilson Creek Trail and gone to the same place, but the Scales Trail is slightly higher in elevation, and there's a few spots that actually have some shade. That's Wilburn Ridge behind us, highest 360 degree viewpoint in Virginia, and in my opinion, one of the best views without a doubt. So we've walked maybe, I don't know, a minute or two up the trail. And this spot back here, the shady spot, that's too nice to pass up. What's showing up on your screen is not doing this any justice. This is beautiful. All sorts of tent spots around here. Grassy, shady tent spots. Oh yeah, this is nice. And it is about 10 degrees cooler in the shade. Now this is almost like golf green. This is nice. So I made a common rookie mistake. Back there at the water, I forgot to get water. I do have the water I brought from home, and I put lemonade mix in it, and it's not really Garvey's favorite thing. He'd rather have water than lemonade, but he doesn't seem to be in any crisis right now. He seems to be enjoying himself in this shade. So we'll have to double back because there's no water between here and the scales. Anyway, I have no idea what we're doing. I'm just rambling. We're just enjoying the day, and whatever we do will take you along. So I'm trying out my umbrella for the first time, and it's actually not in the rain, it's in the sunshine. And it does have this reflective top to it, which is great in the sunshine. I can definitely feel how much cooler it is underneath here. Now, my next goal is to get an umbrella that I can rig up to Garvey on his backpack or harness or whatever, and have him so he can walk in the shade as well. His white coat, he does pretty well. It does a great job of reflecting the heat. And believe it or not, it actually insulates him from the heat. The more shaved down he is, the more vulnerable he is to UV rays. Anyway, we're going back into the shade right now, so he'll be fine. We're not doing anything strenuous. We're on a horse trail, and it's beautiful. And I was completely incorrect. There is a spring on this trail just past the junction of the Bear Pen Trail, before we get to the scales. I'd forgotten all about it. I knew there was water at the scales, but I forgot about this spring beforehand. So that's where we're going right now. And once we fill up on water, we're pretty much free to wander wherever we want. Like I said before, this is quite a shady trail in spots, which is why I picked it over the Wilson Creek Trail. They both go to the scales, both the same distance. This one's a lot better in my opinion. I think once we get to the scales, we're going to head over to the Crest Trail. And although that's a popular place to pick, there is a campsite of mine off trail that is completely surrounded by berry bushes. Okay, so we're at the spring, and it's a trough right over here. And we're going to go down there and fill up, and I guess kind of look for a campsite. Who said the rocks are only in Pennsylvania? I turned my head for 30 seconds and look at this guy. Come here. What in the world did you do? Okay, yeah. This is a first. 11 and a half years of knowing this dog here. He's never done this before. I don't know if he did a face plant or what happened here, but we're gonna have to clean it up. Well, I got most of it off, but Garvey's looking like one dirty hippie. Yeah, nobody's gonna want to come pet you now, Garv. So anyway, we're headed up the Crest Trail, and it's starting to cloud over a little bit, especially over in this direction towards Wilburn Ridge. It looks like there might even be some rain. So there are usually a lot of blueberries up in this direction, but I'm not sure if we're gonna see any this year. It might not be a good berry year. I just haven't seen berries where I expected to see them. But we're gonna find out one way or another. So the campground I'm talking about is that area right over there, that wooded area right in the middle. So what we would do is walk along this plane here all the way out to it, and I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing unless there's people out there. There are people who know about it, but not a lot of people. I'd be surprised. But it is Saturday, so you never know. But I expect most people will be sticking to the main trails and going to the popular areas. So I think this is going to probably work out well for us. So there's a spring there, plenty of camping, it's nice and shaded, and there should be blueberries also. So that's where we're headed. And it's not too far of a walk back here. It should take us maybe 15 minutes to get to the campsite at the most. And here we are. I left the camera on so that the battery's been burning down. I'm at about 9% right now. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the phone off and charge it and get camp set up. Well, this is home for the night. It's a couple hours later, and we've just been kind of relaxing. We went out into the field straight over that way, looking for berries, and there's hundreds of bushes, but barely any bushes with berries on them. Very surprising. The bushes look kind of sickly. They don't look all that great. We managed to pick enough so we can have pancakes in the morning. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the kitchen here. We're getting ready to start eating. Got Garvey set up here. Those are Sea to Summit bowls. And those are working out a little bit better than those Frisbees he had forever. They're heavier, but it doesn't really matter because that's all he's carrying in his pack. So over here, the ultra heavy kitchen, I've got way more than enough maple syrup, black pepper and sea salt grinders. Got some olive oil, some Parmesan cheese, spontaneous combustion hot sauce. Those of you who know me know I always take that in my food kit. I've got some real butter, 6 eggs, can of Spam, drinking pink lemonade right now. I've got the knock bag with the Sawyer Micro. That's worked out pretty well. I'll show you a little bit about that, a little bit more about that later. Cook kit, still the Tokes cup with the lid. Scrubber, thanks White Castle. Great idea. I don't know why I've never thought of that in 38 years of hiking. Sometimes the most obvious things don't come to me, but you learn something new every day, so thanks again for that. And over here we have some Baddest Bee fire starters, and those are great. They're a little bit pricey. They're about $1 per fire starter, but sometimes I use about half of one, and they're braided up, but when you unbraid them, they fluff out like a cotton ball and take a spark and light up almost immediately. Still using the Ion Micro, doing a great job, doing everything it's supposed to. So far, so good. And we're going to switch right around here. My food bag I'll probably go into a little bit later. I'm going to pull a few things out of there and show you what I'm going to have for dinner. This is just trash. Of course, whenever I can find them. Snyder's jalapeno pieces. Got some Vienna sausage. That's always good to have. Probably not good for you, but good to have. And over here on the Sea to Summit dry bag, we have the frying pan, a long-handled spoon, and a spatula to flip eggs and pancakes. So I think what we're going to do next is go look for a few more berries. That's about all I have so far. Yeah, enough for a pancake or two. Maybe we'll eat dinner first and then go look for berries once it cools off. That field over there is kind of hot. Well, I'm not sure how well this is going to work because what I've picked for dinner is macaroni and cheese. And it's not 8-track macaroni and cheese, but it'll have to do. But the big challenge I have is fitting all of this pasta in this little pot. Wish me luck. Okay, this is what we ended up with. I ended up frying up some of the sausage that I had for tomorrow morning. Cooked up half of it. And it's cool enough out here, it's not going to spoil. But I figured I'd get rid of that instead of the Spam, because the Spam I could have indefinitely. But this is Parmesan, macaroni and cheese, and maple flavored sausage. And to some of you that may sound terrible, but I tasted it and it's going to be delicious. I can't wait. So yeah, it was the right decision, obviously, to come up here. And sometimes I just need to hike off the funk, to do some miles and be out here in nature where I belong. And one way to get rid of the funk for me is to just walk. So still out here. So I think tomorrow what we're going to do is walk along the crest trail for a while. And that's what you're seeing over there in the middle of your screen. And we're going to follow it along Pine Mountain all the way over there, and right in that area where the sun is going down, just to the left of that is probably where we're going to get off on a different trail, unless we get sucked into walking over Wilburn Ridge, which is a good possibility, because that's always a great view up there. But in the meantime, we're going to call it a night.